Hi guys, it's Chamaka B, the Blinding Beauty, and let's just get right into it. So, story is about Tim Lade and Tim Tokwe, twins, boy and girl. Lade is the boy, Tokwe is the girl, and um, now it's basically about the girl, Tim Tokwe, and her best friend Ifunanya, but we call her Ifu, right? Back then in primary school, they had to be separated in primary four, and Ifu had to leave. Ifu never really told Tokwe the reason why she had to leave. She just told her, my parents said I have to change school. Meanwhile, the parents were actually relocating to America. And you know that thing about African parents, especially in the 90s, don't tell anybody you're this or that. So she just told her I'm leaving school. So in her mind, they will cross paths or maybe whatever. But back then, nobody saw the need of two young people's friendship. They didn't understand the seriousness of the love. So no communication, nothing. They just left. But before she left, she gave her like a rubber, the elasticity of the rubber was a lot. I don't know if you guys remember. Not hair rubber. We just had tiny, tiny rubbers back then with different colors. So she made a friendship bracelet out of it and gave it to her with some little charms, and gave it to her. And she kept it. So she relocated to the US immediately, started her career, all of that, from when she was in primary school. So we're talking about like 2 years ago now. So she's older, she's doing well. Meanwhile, Tope and her brother, twins, stayed in Nigeria, finished their uni, everything in Nigeria. Then Tope decided that she wanted to go abroad to the UK, not to the US. Brother said, You cannot relocate and leave me. So he joined her and they relocated. And along the line, during her career path, she had a course that she wanted to take. And the course was in Houston, Texas, precisely. But it was a 1 year course. So she had the option to take it at home or go physically. And she's like, you know what? It's fine, let me go. Change of environment and everything. Brother stayed back in UK. She went, but she was never going to relocate. She was just going to come back to the UK. So she goes to the UK, and at the conference, there's a girl that was speaking, and she just took a liking to her because of the way she spoke. And then after everything, the girl introduced, I think she missed the first bit. So when the girl was done, she introduced herself again and said, My name is Ifu, and all of that. And she's like, Fine girl, can speak. And this name, I've always liked people that like this name, but this one in particular, there's something. And so she took a liking to her after the conference, walked up to her, introduced herself to her. No surnames, just first name basis and everything. And they left it at that, exchange contacts. So because of the fact that she was in Houston and this one was new, she's like, oh, you know what? Let's hang out. Let's this. And so they built a bond, like if an actual friendship. They became close. Whenever they had free time from work, they would hang out and all that. But it was the kind of thing where they discussed everything apart from personal life. So work related issues, serious issues. They just didn't talk about their lives or their past. Now, fast forward to 6 months after their friendship had blossomed, it was Ifu's birthday, and Ifu and her decided to have like a friendship date, but in the house. So Temitope decided that she wanted to do like a presentation with slides and all that, like reasons why I like Ifu and everything, or why we're friends and all that. Because again, they had become very close. Now, in the presentation, she had said a lot, and then she's like, now to the main reason why I actually liked you or took a liking to you from the first time. I had a best friend in primary school whose name was Ifu, and I liked her so much. Yada 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 yada. She just went on, and that's what attracted me to you first was your name and all of that. And I just felt like and I never saw her. All these things. And Ifu's just there, like, what the, you know what I mean? And as she's staring, she just starts to bawl, like she's crying. And then Tebitopa is confused, like, what's going on? Did I say something wrong? As she's saying all these things and, hugging her because she's bending her, she's hugging her, she's crying. She's like, wait a minute, like in her head, that kind of thing. And she's like, no, what's your surname? And this one chuckles amidst her laughter and says it. And she loses it because she's like, I've met like 5 or 4 Ifunayas in Nigeria. I met 2 in the UK. And I've always, the first thing I always is, what's your surname? But nobody really had your surname. It just didn't rhyme. You know what I mean? So she just didn't feel the need to ask her again because it was always like a dead end. So the one person she didn't ask about her surname was the one person she had looked for all her life. And two of them just hug each other, start to cry, and then she goes inside. She's like, "Hold on," and brings out her bracelet. So after about 24 years, she still has that bracelet. Over 20, not even, well over 24 years, she still has that bracelet, and she shows her the bracelet. And then Temi starts to cry the most. Oh my God, you never touched me. You know how girls can be when you're a girly girl and you're a very emotional person. They're emotional people. Now, that's not even the part that was all sweet and all. I mean, that's so sweet. But in primary school, I don't know about you guys, but I experienced it. In fact, I have a best friend. I had a best friend in primary school that I looked for and I didn't find. So I could relate to this story. And when I saw that they found each other after many years, I could understand the feeling, even though it's not about growing up and everything. Because sometimes you realize that when the person grows up, it's not the person you might want to be friends with, but they're already aligned as adults, which even made it sweeter. However, I digress. Sorry. So her brother, the twin, Timilade, he was always telling Ifnaya, I'm going to marry, I'm going to marry, I'm going to marry. You know the children's banter. And she would laugh and she would go and tell her mom, I have a husband. You know that kind of thing. And guess what? She now calls her brother, and her brother is like, what are you talking about? Brother now says, I'm coming to Houston. Brother enters flight next week and comes to Houston to come and see with his eyes. Immediately he saw her. He said, my wife. She said, it's fine. Just like not like real life stuff, but backtracking to primary school, whatever, because they remember they all have that memory of the whole banter, they start to gist. And since she's there for 1 year, they're still there, and guess what? She decides that she doesn't want to go back to the UK, but she really wants whatever she's doing in the UK, her career, she can apply for jobs here and get it because she wants to be closer to this her friend. She applied for jobs, she got it, but that's not even the most amazing part. Her brother says he still likes her and he wants to date her. They actually start to date, proper dating. And he realizes that this is the best thing that happened to me. And it was not even a joke. Family, so that's when they now start to call each other's parents. Do you remember Tammy? Do you remember Ifu? Yada yada yada. I just saw her in the US. And we've been friends for so long. I didn't even think to ask. You know what I mean? Like excitement. And these people got married in 2025 January, just 1 year of dating. From one phone call that she called and said, you will not believe who I saw. He came. Now they now have to be doing long distance. But after a while, he too relocated to US. So a UK trip or masters and getting on with your life and career, she met somebody from her past who she didn't even really know back then because they were children, like I said. And that changed the course of like almost an entire family. Changed her life, changed her brother's life, and changed Ifu's life because now Ifu has a best friend again, has a husband now. I'm so excited. And such a great story. Like, oh. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. But this story blessed me. I'm like, oh wow. So sometimes when you think something is forgotten, it's not really, really forgotten, or it's buried, or it's dead and gone. Because I'm like, it came out of nowhere when she wasn't looking. And it's not like she was looking, but I mean, when you meet somebody, it's just thoughtful to ask. But yeah, it ended well, and I'm so happy for them. Let me know what you think, guys. Bye.